to get up here in the sky. Did somebody make it?
Just to be safe, I've been jotting down our entire route here. This way, no one will get lost.
How do we get lost? We're literally standing on the Falcon Coast. Like, where is there to get lost?
Oh, good thinking, Kale.
If it were a big open world with lots of, you know, rugged and deserted places, sure, I could understand, but it's a really tiny world, Kale.
Who would have thought we'd find this kind of table here? Weird. It's almost as if someone was holding a tea party.
That's what I said, but there's your lantern, it's floating.
I never would have guessed that such a place could exist. Right above Mondstadt, too.
That's because it doesn't. It was created simply for this purpose.
Wow, look at that pretty lantern on the table. There's even a chair for each side of the lantern, too. There seems to be something on the back of this chair. Let me have a closer look.
It probably says either flower. What was the lying one? Truth speaker? Legend and... I don't remember the other one. Oh, never gets lost.
Take your seat, present your answers, and you shall reach enlightenment. Well, as far as instructions go, I guess that's simple enough.
Very straightforward.
So we just need to do as it says, right?
I mean, were you planning to just stand here and look at it?
Wait a second.
Huh? What is it, Albedo?
We'd better make sure this place is safe before taking our seats. Everyone, please stay clear for a moment.
It's fine. Everyone vigilantly watches Albedo as Albedo conducts their investigation.
Questions and doubts aside, the scenery here is pretty amazing. It'd be impossible to feel stressed here.
I rather think that's the point.
How is everything, Albedo?
Everything seems to be fine. I didn't find any traps or suspicious mechanisms.
You're just as suspicious. I was going to call you a human being, but are you really human?
But I also couldn't find any overt destructive devices.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, it seems that wrong answers won't have any catastrophic consequences. Looks like we'll have to sit on these chairs and fulfill the prophecy. Everyone, I would like to suggest that we try some risky answers on our first attempt. Let's reserve our most confident answers for the second round.
You do realize this is just an elaborate way to get everybody together to have a tea party and have fun?
That sounds kind of smart. But why?
Ah, I get what he means. If we do as he says, then we may be able to figure out how the puzzle works.
I see. That makes a lot of sense.
Mona, is there something wrong? You're not looking too good.
Ooh, you have a beef with Alice.
Oh, are you hungry? I brought some snacks.
Oh, that's why she was extra shady about Clee joining them. I just remembered.
Thank you for offering Clee, but that's not quite it. While Albedo was checking just now, I gave my scryglass a spin hoping to find some information. But there's a strange aura to this place. It's almost as if someone has been staring at me as soon as we stepped foot in here. But if nothing here has actually been physically tampered with, then no. Could that person be?
Mona just shivered. Did she sense some kind of great power?
What do you mean, Mona?
Who could it be?
Never mind. It's not like I've got any proof.
Don't leave us on the edge like this, Mona.
I'll just do what Albedo said.
Yes. Let's test the hypothesis together, Clee.
Come on, join us, Mona.
I love how she's so oblivious to the tensions between Mona and her mother.
Oh, all right. Okay, then I'll answer the first question. If someone were to
Sit
ask
on
me
the
to find
goddamn chair
a flower
first.
that is not of this world,
The instructions were very, very freaking simple. Sit your posterior on a chair and then give your answer. You violated the first rule. Is it that hard?
you can do it, Sucrose.
Sit down.
Then I would fetch a tetragenic sweet flower. All right, I'm up next. My part of the prophecy is to find a guide who will never get lost.
I love how you're saying it first and then sitting, but the instructions said to sit and then say.
Collie, I hope
hope you found your answer.
But she's supposed to be giving a bad answer the first time around, don't forget, Sucrose.
My answer is that I will be that guide. For a long time, I have been guided by
That's your
others.
bad answer?
It's taken me a while, but I finally made it to where I am today.
What other answer do you have that's better than that?
Although I still haven't made a name for myself, and I'm still quite immature, I would still like to put my name forward. Because I would like to become a guide that can help others.
Okay. I get what's happening, and I don't like how we're going about this. As I said, I'm assuming it's Alice. And I'm assuming that the whole point of this whole prophecy thing was just to get people together to have fun and just spend time together and, you know, be friends with one another. That's totally an Alice thing to do. Also, it's a very Windbloom thing to do. So, Albedo wanted you to tell your least correct answers first, and then the ones you're most confident secondly. But they're giving their confident answers first, or at least Cole is, because the answers don't matter. The minute they sit down and have their moment, the lantern's going to light up anyway, because they would have fulfilled the point of it, which is to everybody come together and sit down for a tea party. So it doesn't matter about answer of round 1, answer of round 2. The answers are irrelevant. It's just the act of people coming together. And that's why we've got Cole's big answer in round 1 when it's supposed to be in round 2, because we're not going to get a round 2.
I want to help others the same way Amber, Master Tainari, Sino, and everyone else helped me. Now it's my turn to pass on the gift that I've been given.
And the point I'm trying to make is like, that's cool, but it doesn't make sense as per Albedo's instructions. Albedo specifically wanted a bad answer first and the better answer second. But we're violating that because, hey, plot. That's the part that annoys me. Assuming I'm right. Why do you get to sit at the head of the table?
It's up to me to answer the
I'm the
third
traveler.
part. I'll submit myself as one who would never lie. Although I've never really had any other virtues or talents, I'm confident that I've always been an honest person. I'd like to thank everyone, too, for giving me this opportunity to validate myself.
This isn't meant to be an opportunity for you to validate yourself.
And last but not least, I will answer the final part of the prophecy.
I like how she's already seated.
There's no tale more befitting the title of a legend that never ends than our fates as human beings.
Wait, the lantern just lit up!
Oh no, whoever would have thought.
Whoa, all 4 sides of the lantern are glowing! Huh?
But all we did was submit a batch of test answers, well, Cole didn't. And I already told you it didn't matter.
Kale, could I ask you to stand up for a second?
It's just the act of people sitting on the chairs. What you speak is irrelevant.
All right.
It'll dim, and then Albedo will sit down and it will light back up. Correct? Yeah.
Huh? What's going on?
It's not that hard to put together, Paimon.
Why is it lighting up regardless of who's sitting in the chair? Didn't it say we have to answer all the questions correctly?
Did it say correctly, or did it just say you had to answer the questions, and to do so you had to sit?
It's pretty clear now, isn't it? We've just proven that there is no right answer for this prophecy.
No right answer.
The lantern's pretty.
But how could that be?
Although the instructions
Look at
had
it.
come from an
It's so
old
pretty.
and enigmatic prophecy, it is in fact nothing like the ancient mechanism that we had all imagined it to be. I believe the lantern only serves as a simple signal.
Destination
And
Iron
to
Lady.
think, I never expected you to actually find this place.
What? There's someone else here?
We meet again, traveler.
Are we saying no? Please, no. I was going to say, please tell me she didn't set it up, but we know she didn't because we've seen her talking to herself about trying to find the place when Rosaria came across her. So she didn't organize it.
Hey, you're that Outlander we met the other day at Good Hunter.
It's all thanks to you that I was able to find this place. Good thing that you were too preoccupied with the prophecy to notice someone tailing you from the shadows.
Is this the part where I tell you that it's really just not really a prank, but an elaborate plan to have everybody just come together for a nice tea party? There's nothing more important to it than that.
Oh, is that so? Then why do I spy yet another person following in your shadow?
Wait, Really?
Yep. She's so adorable.
There's no need for pleasantries. You should know I'm here for you.
Is it just because I'm a visitor from abroad?
You're a suspicious visitor from abroad.
I was there when you snuck your way into Marjorie's place.
So you had your eyes on me even then, huh? That was 2 whole weeks ago, you know.
It's hard not to notice you when I'm on duty every day.
All right. In that case, I'll
Every
admit
day?
I was the person who slipped this prophecy into the storybook.
Okay, that's less fun. Rosaria, sorry, yeah, that's literally, I don't even care about that, whatever. Rosaria, you patrol every day? You don't have days off? You don't have a weekend? You don't have a break? Your life is literally just patrolling? God, that must be boring.
Huh? But why? Then, does that mean this wasn't a real prophecy after all?
Don't worry. Even though you probably have plenty of reservations about me, you can be sure that the prophecy is genuine. In fact, many of you here today may have heard the code name of the one who left the prophecy to me. She hailed from an ancient assembly of powerful women, each of whom used a single letter to signify themselves.
Who would have guessed? It seems that power was indeed left behind by the old hag after all.
Ah, so you're B's student. It's an honor to meet you. I am Scarlet, the successor of Jay.
I don't remember. Yeah, Mona's story was so long ago, I don't remember.
Well, what are you talking about?
It's a long story, but I'm not quite sure that I'm the best person to tell it. Since you've all spent so much time and energy trying to decipher this prophecy, you must also be very interested in the secret behind this lantern, no? The lantern has already been lit. Now then, please allow me to disturb your happy peace.
Huh?
Why did this little thing just light up? How strange.
Right?
Hello? On the other side of the lantern.
Huh?
Can you hear me over there?
What?
Mom?
Well, we all knew it was Alice, but I didn't imagine that was a communication device. Why?
Oh, I hear many youthful voices.
Madam, I am Scarlet, the successor of Jay.
So she used everybody to get into contact with Alice.
Oh, since we've last gathered, Jay's successor has already become so reckless and bold. Unbelievable.
It's hilarious. It's like the lovely elf lady who absolutely loves her daughter and she's just so adorable and kind. And oh, since we've last gathered, Jay's...
Wait. Why are you talking just like the old hag?
Old hag? Who would dare say that? Is that Mona?
Who else would it
Who are
be?
you? Who dares imitate my master?
And what of imitation and mimicry? It has always been a fool's errand to mimic and learn from humanity.
Aunt Alice, I'm here too.
Mom, why are you trying to talk like other people?
So I see everyone's here. Well then, my warmest greetings, everyone.
Miss Alice, why would you...
Well, it's been many years since this lantern last lit up. You can't blame me for thinking that one of the old friends from my youth may have decided to catch up again.
Ah, that's the part I got wrong. It's not about us gathering for Windbloom. It's about her old friends gathering for Windbloom. I see. Okay, so I'm right in every single factor except for that.
Why she sounds so coy all of a sudden?
And if I recall correctly, we left this lantern in the care of the Animo Archon Barbados. You must be commended for uncovering an artifact entrusted to the god of wind himself.
Did you know that without me, he wouldn't have done this? Yeah? Yeah? Crazy Snezhnyan looking lady? I'm the key here, not you.
Tell me, are you sitting around my beloved tea party
We
table?
absolutely are, and I don't think there are enough chairs.
It's a really long table.
Oh, so you are. I suppose this means even the Animo Archon has granted you entry to this place. Was all of this Scarlet's doing?
Wait. Paimon's completely lost now. So what was this assembly you were talking about earlier?
Oh, Miss Alice, would it be alright to leave the explanation of that to you?
Well, you should be rewarded for making it all the way up here and activating the lantern. Now then, let me tell you a long and ancient story.
Only as long as you give me a cutscene.
Ever heard of the Hexenzirkel? As the spooky name suggests, it's a secret society. Once upon a time, it even challenged the Animal Archon himself. But he replied, "Let us make music, not war, and resolve our conflicts through song."
Of course he did.
From then on, the mages would only ever convene in the woods, in the skies, or on the edges of cliffs. At these tea parties, they discussed their stories and secrets and resolved their differences, as the tea and cakes bore witness to their pledge never to fight amongst themselves.
Yesterday, I snuffed out the life of my beloved.
Dear God.
He had grown old and was extremely sick. He loved me dearly, so I took his fate in my hands and ended his pain.
That's bloody tragic.
I'm raising a son. Of all the children I had, he's the only one left.
What happened to the others?
But I suppose that still makes me a mother.
My lifespan is nothing compared to yours, so I wish to leave you with my storybook. Actually, maybe you can pass it on to your children one day.
Oh, this looks interesting. Let me scry.
My dear sisters, we mustn't let prophecies threaten our bonds of friendship. Even the most frightening witch was once a little girl, and growing up can be so tough. Sometimes we all need to vent our troubles
Weren't
to the
there 8
wind.
members?
Even if the nations go to war, or the sky falls down, the mages' tea parties shall forever be held around this table.
I thought there were 4 sigils on either side when she first introduced the circle, whatever it was.
Ah, so this is where the legendary mages held their meetings.
Yeah, I'm more interested in that storyline. Can we get that storyline instead of this prophecy storyline? I mean, the prophecy storyline hasn't been that bad. I'm not going to lie. I'll get to that at the end. I mean, yeah. But the major storyline, I'm intrigued. Can we learn more about the history? Can we hunt down all the remaining members? Not to kill, just to chat, to learn some things.
That's right. We often met here to chat and have tea.
Then what about the part saying that if we light the lantern of utmost joy, we'd receive a supreme blessing?
The blessing is spending time with each other.
About that. I never expected anyone other than Jay to actually read the full contents of that prophecy. It's a little embarrassing. The truth is, that prophecy was actually just a letter that we sent to Jay as a group the day before her wedding.
So it was indeed written by all of you.
I must thank you for resisting the urge to immediately reveal the truth to everybody, Albedo. Knowing you probably figured out everything the moment you laid eyes on the message.
No, it took me a little longer than that.
A flower that is not of this world, a guide who will never get lost, one who would never lie, and a legend that never ends. These 4 descriptions signify 4 individual mages.
She just has a very expressive voice.
When a member of the organization had to leave the group to spend the rest of her days with her beloved, the other mages would write down this prophecy and send it to her to invite her for a final get-together. A flower that is not of this world signifies, of course, flowers that do not naturally exist in this world. This is the signature of our full name, Rhine-daughter, also known as Gold. If there's anyone in this world who could create a flower species that does not yet exist, it would be her. The guide who will never get lost is N, otherwise known as Nicole.
I don't know her.
You may not have encountered her yet.
No, I don't know her.
But she is a truly extraordinary woman who has made this world's direction and order her subject of study.
I hope this is foreshadowing that we are actually going to meet these missing mages.
Some of you may be fortunate enough to have already heard her voice. Like a prophetess, she will only speak to guide people toward the truth when a change has occurred in the world.
Is that foreshadowing? The voice I heard at the end of the Sumerian questline. I was like, hey, I bet you that could be the next Archon, like the way Nahida spoke to us. But what if it's Nicole? Because a big change had just occurred in the world. We just freed an Archon, and the tyranny upon Sumeru by the Fatui, by the Elder Torre. So it could be Nicole.
She has a tendency to suddenly speak in someone's mind without any warning.
This actually makes sense because the Golden Apple Archipelago, is that what it's called? Anyway, that event quest led us into Sumeru because we heard Nahida's voice there. And that led us into Sumeru. So this event telling us this is leading us into when we're going to meet Nicole. Yeah? Oh, okay, never mind. The game's going to tell me that anyway. Could she have been the one who spoke to me while we were investigating Fujin?
If one day you would be unfortunate enough to run into a truly dangerous situation, she may use her voice to guide the way forward for you.
Why is it that whenever something big happens in the traveler's life, Alice is there somehow connected to it?
Who would have guessed that there are so many mysterious women in this world and that they would all know each other?
That's only 3. Where are the rest?
The one who would never lie is me.
Oh,
I
you
hope
count.
no one would take offense. It's just that I, Alice, or A for short, have always had a soft spot for those with sincerity and candor. As for a legend that never ends, you may not know M in person, but you've likely encountered one of her works. Have any of you ever read The Boar Princess?
That came up mentioned recently. Is that that's where you found the note, didn't you? That's where Collei found it, didn't she? Collei found the prophecy.
Huh? I'm pretty sure every child in Mondstadt has read that book.
It's also one of my favorite stories.
What's the Boar Princess,
M
wasn't
was
it?
an exceptional human writer who used her prose to teach me the meaning of grief. Don't you think such a person would deserve a seat at the mage's table?
Sure, as long as she's capable of actual magic. I don't like metaphoric magic. That's okay, you have a small mind.
It may sound hard to believe, but I can attest to everything that Alice has said. Jay was also a mortal who aged and passed on, leaving her title to her students and followers.
What about it is hard to believe? Why would I doubt anything that's been told to me thus far? What about it is unbelievable?
Alice, you've never acknowledged any of Jay's successors. It's now been centuries since the first of us took on her mantle. I've always wanted to meet you.
Do you also want to become a mage?
Title aside, I think I'm more interested in the meaning and purpose of the Hexen Circle. I used to think that the Hexen Circle was a group of women who could control the very fate of this world. But now, I've seen for myself that besides Jay, many other ordinary people were also among you.
You're still short members.
Do you
Are they
think
dead?
less of us now?
No, not at all. My interest has been piqued, and I'm now even more drawn towards the idea of becoming a mage.
You're right. I've never acknowledged any of Jay's successors, but you are different. You are much more fascinating than any of your predecessors.
That doesn't say much for her predecessors because I don't find her particularly fascinating.
Oh, has someone finally piqued Aunt Alice's interest?
Now is not a good time, Scarlet, but as soon as I am able, I will seek you out for a meeting. I want you to tell me all about Jay's married life back in her hometown.
So the mage who received the prophecy letter from all of you was Jay? She left the Hexen Circle after getting married?
I'm sorry, we've gone through this entire story and that's your question? We already know the answer to that is yes.
Precisely. There was only one way the letter could have been interpreted. She would have known what we meant as soon as she saw the message. We were just asking one thing of her. Please come to see us again. Before you go and settle forever with your happiness, please come share some of it with your best friends and sisters.
So, the Supreme Blessing actually meant...
All journeys are fleeting and will eventually come to an end. What will give us the most fulfillment and happiness in the end are those who will greet us at our journey's destination. Dear child, I believe you can also understand what I am talking about. We women will always have many troubles and encounter pains and frustrations that will keep us up at night.
Why are you singling out women? Women have troubles, yeah, but so do men.
But no matter how hard things may become, we will cross mountains and oceans to see our best friends again, regardless of how many years have passed or how far the distance may be. As long as we can be with our beloved friends, our hearts will be filled with joy. To us mages, that's what being supremely blessed is all about.
I still don't get it, but I do know that all the mages are Mom's best friends.
And you know what, Clee? That is the only thing you need to take away from this.
If you ask how I see it, the Hexen Circle is just a group of ladies that I spent my youth with. Anyway, I'll introduce some of the other members to you all later. I still
Hi,
have
Rosaria.
a few things to attend to, so this will have to do for today.
Oh no, the clouds. Do you want to stay for some tea, Rosaria? You made it all the way here.
Bye, Mom. Todoko says bye, too.
Goodbye, darling, and farewell to all of our other friends as well. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Oh, now that I think of it, isn't it getting close to that time of year?
Oh, don't. Do I need to go to the archipelago for a third time?
Yes, it's Windbloom again.
Oh, thank God you meant Windbloom. Whew.
It's also a special anniversary day.
Thank God.
I'm sure you still remember.
Yes, I do remember now. It was on this day, many, many years ago, that Jay tied the knot. Ah, just in time for the Festival of Love and Freedom. Everyone, please enjoy this year's Windbloom Festival to the fullest.
Huh? This chick's not local. And if she studied under a teacher, that means her teacher is not from Mondstadt or is not currently in Mondstadt. So we're saying she got married here and then went out to a partner's homeland? I still think she looks like she's dressed very Snezhnayan, but okay. Alice's voice fades and the lantern... Oh, we've got to click to continue. I can slow down. Alice's voice fades and the lantern grows dim. It is once again just a regular piece of decor. For a moment, everyone looks lost in thought, but soon, chatter begins to fill the space again. Before long, everyone spreads their gliders to return to You're not even going to stop and have tea? What a waste of a perfectly good destination. There were even teapots there.
Albedo, why didn't you tell me we'd have to glide all the way back down?
Lol. Like, there's teapots. How do these books not get affected by the weather? I don't need to go that way. I can just go back to Mondstadt.